and currently I'm outsourcing. So that is with the React.js.
So what is roles and responsibility in the project?
So in current project, I'm working as a developer. Okay, so I have to. We are currently going with the sprint by sprint for the every 15 days. So yeah, currently I'm working with the React development, and in previous project I have lead that project.
Okay. Let me ask some technical questions in React.js. Okay.
Yeah.
So first tell me why what is the React, why React, and why it is famous nowadays.
Okay, so the React.js is a library. Okay, it's providing the components-based architecture, so it's really easy to understand and easy to work with that. And with the component architecture, we are able to reuse that code. Okay, and it's provide the Redux as well with that one, so we can use into the larger application whenever we need it. That one. And it's used the virtual DOM, okay, so it's really quick and faster compared to the other apps. So it's
what is the virtual DOM? Explain it.
Virtual DOM is whenever any React app run, it creates a copy of the real DOM. Okay, that's the virtual DOM. So if there are any changes we made, so that will firstly compare with the virtual DOM, and it will render the particular part of the updated one. So that, and because of that, React is faster.
Okay. So there is a reconciliation process.
Yeah, so that whole process is called the reconciliation. The what you can say that the matching the old version of the DOM to the updated version, and the rendering the latest to the real DOM. That the whole process is called the reconciliation.
Okay. What are state and props in React?
Okay. So state that we can use within the component, and props we can use with the component, and we can also pass from the parent to the child component. State mutable, while the props cannot be mutable.
Mutable means, can explain it?
Means the state we can update within the component. Okay, I can define the state into the component, and then I can change the value of that one. While props we can passing from parent to the child. So in child we cannot override that one.
So what is the mutable? What is unmutable there?
Mutable, that means we can change the value of that, and unmutable, that we cannot modify that value.
So no state. So what is the state? What is the props now? Is props mutable or unmutable?
Props is unmutable, while state is mutable. We can update the value of the state.
Okay. So we have functional components, class components, right? So explain it. So which is preferred to use, functional components or class components?
Okay, so currently the preferred one is a functional component. Okay, with the functional component we can use all the state lifecycle method like use effect, use memo, use state, and it is really easy to understand the code and easily provide that method. While in class component we have to use that lifecycle method, component did mount and component state update. So in many of the projects, I noticed that everybody is using the functional component well compared to the class component.
Okay. So then, which you prefer, functional components or class components?
I prefer functional components.
Why? Any specific reason?
Because with the functional component, we have a easy life cycle method that we can use that with our component.
Life cycle methods also in class components also, right?
Yeah, but that we have to go with the component did mount and component did update that one. But with state, we cannot directly use that one. Okay, we have to define that with the constructor, and then we can use the state and then manipulate. While functional component, we have inbuilt state method like use state, use layout, effect, use memo, all that.
So what are the life cycle methods in class class component? Explain it.
Class component, first will the component did mount, component did update, and then component did unmount.
Did unmount? Do we have the method component did unmount?
Yeah.
Sure, are you sure?
Sorry?
We have the method component did unmount?
Component unmount. So whenever we are away from that component that will be rendered, and some of the
So
if
what
we
are
have
the, you remember the method names they're using in the class components for the lifecycle methods? You were telling the stages, right? Mounting, unmounting, and those are the stages, right? I want the method names.
uh, that's the uh, component did mount, okay, component will update, and component did unmount. So these three method we are using with the class component.
Okay.
Main three method, yeah.
So how do you achieve the unmount in the functional components?
Yeah, so I will use that one with the use effect without any dependency. Okay, if I am using the any set timeout, okay, timeout that generally we are using. So I will use the set timeout and store to the any variable, okay, and then I will call the clear interval or clear timeout method. So that will be called while the component unmount.
For example, I have the one functional components. In the functional components, I have the state some data. Okay. Now I am moving from one that component to other component. Now I want to clear all the state data. How you clear?
Yeah, so I will use the use effect without any dependency, and I will clear that one. And I think in the newer version, that is one method is available while we are moving from the one component to another component. Actually, I did not remember the exact name of that one, but yeah, I think in the newer version that is available,
Yeah,
and we can use that
return
method.
statement and the use effect to achieve
Yeah, return. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what is the use memo and use callback?
Okay. So the use memo will return the memoized value while use callback will return the memoized functions. So it will be stop the re-rendering of the component.
Okay. Both. So what is the difference? Use memo and use callback.
So whenever we want the memoized value, then we can use the use memo. But whenever we want any function, that will be only call based on the certain amount of the dependency update, then we use the use callback.
What is the React that you use memo and use memo?
Sorry, what is?
React dot memo. Where use a React dot memo.
Yeah, so so we can also use that React.memo and we can also use direct use memo. So both are the same, okay. But React.memo are called standardized method or something. But the both have the output will be the same while using React.memo or use memo.
For example, I have one component, one parent component. In the parent component, I have the child component. Okay. So if I'm changing the state value in the parent component, state value. So what happens? If we change the state value, what will happen?
Okay. So if you have passed that state to the child component, okay, or the state is used the above the where we are using the child component, okay, then the child component will also render if we change the value of that state. If we want to overcome with that one, we have to use the use memo. So the child component will not render because we are not passing.
So for example, I am not passing the state to the child component. So then is child component is not render?
No, child component will also render because we are passing the props to the child component. So it will be re-render whenever we are changing the value of that.
How to stop that one?
Okay, so we'll use the use memo function. Okay, so it will be only render when the actual value of that state will be changed.
Okay. So what is the routing concept in React?
Routing, we can use the use router, okay, from the React router, and we can define the routing in the app.js, or we can also create another routing file and import into the app router.
So how many types of router we have in the React.js?
Sorry? Yeah, edge router and app router.
What about browser router?
sorry, app, not app, is the browser router, and app has router. So in generally we are using the browser router, but if in one of our application we have used that the has router.
Okay. So what is the control components and uncontrol components in React?
Okay, so control, we can, what I can simply, if we are using the reference value with the reference, okay, any component with the reference, that we can call that the control component, and any component, like if we are changing any value of and we can handle that with the use state, that called the uncontrolled component.
What is React fragment?
React fragment, that we are wrapping the multiple element with the main element, that called the React.fragment.
Okay. What is use of key in React?
So whenever we are using the element with the mapping function, we are adding the key to identify each element of the record. So whenever any update made, React can identify that element and easily update that one.
Okay. What is the prop drilling?
Prop drilling, that means if I have one parent component and I have another child component, then I have another child component, okay? Like it's a chain, and I am passing any props from the first component to the child end of the child component. So that's called the prop drilling. And overcome with that.
Tell me. Continue.
Yeah, so overcome with that situation, we can use the context API. So we don't have to pass the parent to the child.
So there is any alternative for the use context API?
Sorry?
Any alternative for use context?
Yeah, I think Justin is the better one currently, lightweight. And if we have a complex our project and the big one, then we can use that the Redux as well.
So you explain the Redux structure.
Redux structure?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Redux mainly has the one reducer file, okay? Then we can the reducer will that one, and Redux has the action, and it will update based on the action. Redux has the two method, dispatch and selector. Dispatch, with the dispatch we are able to update that our state value, and with the use selector we are able to get the value of our state.
Mm-hmm.
And if we have a multiple reducer, then we can use the Redux tongue, and we can map to each other, and we can use that one. And from store,
did you use any middleware?
Yeah, tongue middleware. Yeah, Redux tongue. And we can all map to the one store file, and we can pass to